Hello, hello. I'm a little late. I apologize for that. My son is still not sleeping. So, anyway, um, I wanted to come today and talk to you a little bit about the energies that are going on, right? So, there's everything with the full moon, and it's funny because on my last live I mentioned the new moon, and then I was like, wait a second, I meant the full moon, the full moon, the full moon that just happened, right? So a lot of my clients have been having a lot of really deep wounds resurface and come up and pop up, and just kind of like being brought up. And then when this happens, because we're all together, we're all connected, we're all one, it surfaces up for me as well, right? So every time I'm working with a client and something is coming up for them, a lot of times this something similar pops up for me, or some of my own wounds resurface. And so this is what's been happening like this whole past week and stuff. And it hasn't been like the regular stuff, or the regular I don't want to call it regular, I suppose, but for me I guess regular, not like the surface stuff that you are clearing, but it's been more of deep, really rooted, really hidden, really I don't want to look at this type of wounds, right? So those things that, for me, for example, I've worked so much on my own growth, on my own journey, and you clear, you pinpoint the things that are your shadow and what you need to clear, and then you clear it, and then you move on, and then something else pops up, and so on and so forth, right? And then sometimes those same things that you have cleared come back, right? And they show up again, and then you clear them again, and because you're at a different point in your life, right? So you grow, you move on, and then if it resurfaces again, you are at a deeper level already in your own healing. And so what's coming up comes up a little bit stronger, a little bit different, a little bit with more information, so that you get to clear that as well. And kind of like that's how it goes, at least for me and my clients. So a lot of this stuff has been really strong this past week, and I wanted to come and talk to you and let you know that you're not alone. So that's number one, you're not alone. It's been happening with many people. The energies have been just like really crazy and really up and down, and a lot of really difficult things to look at and to move through. So this is important to know, because it's an energy that's around, right, in the consciousness. A lot of people are doing this at the same time. A lot of people are moving through their energies at the same time. So this is why so many of us who have already worked on ourselves are coming up with things that are deeper, or more like things that we really don't want to look at. So these things are like showing up, and they're here for us to clear. And because more and more people are going through the same thing, the energy around is here for them. But here's the good news. Number one, the universe is supporting you right now for you to shed those things, for you to be able to hold you, to be able to see it, bring it up, face it, and get rid of it, send it back. Just get rid of it from your energy field, from your area. The energies are supporting you right now for this, so it's easier to clear all of these things that are popping up. Hi, whomever you are, say hi please, so I know and I can say hi properly to you. So anyway, the energies are supporting you for you to do this, and that's another reason why so many people are having all of these energies pop up and come up and resurface. It's because the energies are supporting them. So this is really the time for you to do that deep work. If you have been doing work on yourself, this is the time for you to really dig deep into those really difficult wounds that you have inside you. A lot of us have these wounds really hidden inside that we don't want to share with anyone else. No one in our whole entire circle of people usually know about these things, right? And the wounds can be things such as something that happened to you, or it could be something that you felt or believed, right? So it could have been something as small as somebody calling you something and making you feel really bad, but when that happened, it really touched your soul in such a way that it really, really made you feel small and bad, and then you just kind of like took that as truth, which it isn't the truth, right? You're a divine being, but that's how it made you feel, and then you carried that, and then you started putting more and more stuff on top and burying it down really deep inside. So this is the time to bring them out. So I wanted to bring this out today because there's so many people who are going through this, and it just feels like we need more support, right? We need a little bit more support, especially if you're not working with somebody right now and you don't know what to do, and you just feel like everything's going downhill for some reason, or life is not working out for you. I'm here to tell you that number one is the energies. The energies are showing this to you so that you're able to move it. That's number one. Number two, you're not alone. A lot of us are going through this. If you're in any of these groups, like this group right here, most of the people there are going through this. They may not talk about it, they may not say anything about it, but I promise you the energies are there, present for this to pop out, because it's easier to clear it. So the energies in the universe are supporting you now. If you choose to move it, it will be easier for you to move it. And this is why they're resurfacing, right? And also everything that's resurfacing now, even if you haven't been calling onto it, it's because you're ready to move it. So if it's coming up, it's because you are ready to now move it out of your system. So a couple of things that you can do to move that, right? So meditation, you can do yoga. I was just about to do yoga, but I didn't get a chance to, so I'm going to do it right after this, and then I'm going to take a bath, right? I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath to just clear all the energy from my body. And also you can like seek support. If you don't have it, that means you can talk to a friend who is really in the same wavelength as you, which I know a lot of us do not have that. So if you have somebody in the group or in any of these groups that you know are like-minded, that would be someone to speak with. So you can reach out. If you don't have anybody else, or if you're feeling really, really heavy, or like I just don't want anyone to know about my shadow or what's going on in me or what's resurfacing for me, that seems to be like a theme in the last couple of weeks, right, within the area of the people that I've been working with. And then take a notebook, right? So you take a notebook and you write in it. And I teach this in my dream weaving school container, to get a notebook and write in the notebook as if your notebook was a person, right? Not a specific person, just like, you know, like when you're just talking to a friend, right? And you're just like pouring out your heart. But when these shadows are popping up, maybe you don't want to even bring that up to them. You don't want to, it's just so hard for you to look at it that you cannot see yourself as sharing this to anyone. So get a notebook, and then in the notebook, you can write to the notebook as if that was your friend who is listening to you. The notebook is the friend, not a specific friend. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can do that. You can write in the notebook and just express everything that's popping up for you, that you're feeling, that, you know, that's frustrating you, things that are making you feel angry, upset, sad, the feelings of not being able to do things, or not being worthy, right? All of those things that are always popping up with your ego to make us, you know, to keep us safe, and then we buy into it as truth, and then that's what becomes so hard for us to move them out, because we start to believe in them. So that's a really good way that I teach in my dream weaving school, to write down in it if there's no one else there for you to share. If you don't feel comfortable with anyone, use the notebook to just pour out your heart into it. And this is a notebook kind of like a diary, in terms that it's not for anyone else to read or see, and it is also not for you to go back and read. It is just the fact of you writing it and telling the notebook what's happening. And by doing that, you're getting the energy and you're moving the energy out of your body, right? And it's super helpful. And then once you finish that, you can destroy the book. You can shred it, you can burn it, you can do whatever it is that feels good for you. I used this method many years ago when my mother passed away, and I was going through my 9th year circle. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with the 9-year cycle. Not circle, cycle. The first year being the first, like singular, you're on your own, beginning of new things, and the 9th year is when a lot of things end, such as relationships, or it could be somebody passing away in your family, or a close friend, right? Like the relationship is ending, or it could also be something like you finish school. So it doesn't have to be negative, but it's like the end of things. That's the 9th year cycle. So I was going through my 9th year cycle, and I was having a really powerful, strong, kind of like Saturn. Okay, I don't know why I said Saturn, because I'm not really into the planets things, but I guess it was a Saturn guided year for me, where everything I had was just going down, right? Like I lost my mother, I was married before, my marriage of like a year just completely deteriorated. I had to sell my house. I moved out of the country. I mean, it was like a complete, turnaround. And being in this and not finding the enough ears to actually hear me, right? Because when you have friends and you start talking to them and telling them your problems or whatever, and then they want to help you, so they start to give you things that you can do, right? Advice, right? But a lot of times we just want to be heard, and that's what I needed, and I couldn't find that, right? I couldn't find that ear that would actually understand me. And I started writing in this book. And I used to work in New York at the time. I used to live in Long Island, and I used to take the train into New York, and it was like 45-minute ride. And I would sit in the train and start writing to the book as if it was my friend, and I would just bawl, and like tears rolling down, and then trying to hide my face against the window so that all the other people who were riding the train didn't notice me. I'm pretty sure they noticed me, but I was like such in a deep place. And then after that big ugly cry, I would feel better. And this went on for a couple of weeks, because it was like a huge part of my life when everything was just switching and things were leaving, and it was just not a good part for me. And so it took a while, but every time I would finish writing, I would feel better. Every time I would start writing, I would start bawling again and cry. So there was a lot to come out. And I'm telling you this because a lot of times I also hear, I've been working on myself so much, or I've done this already, or I've done work on this already. And I feel like, yes, but as much as you have, if it's coming out more, that means that there's more, right? It's like this residue, kind of like putting too much soap on a towel and then never being able to get rid of that soap when you wash it, right? It's like you have to rinse and rinse and rinse, and when is it going to be soapless, right? So it's kind of like that, right? So just do the work on your own, if that's what you need to do to move this energy out, until it actually clears, until you are feeling completely light, and until you go back to the method that you're using and it's no longer affecting you in the way that it was affecting you when you first started working on yourself. So this is the advice that I have for you guys for this, and also just to remind you that you are loved, that you are one with the universe, with divine light, with divine beings, right? And that you are fully supported, right? And then you're not the only one who's going through these things. Everybody's going through this. Something came up for me I think it was like 3 days ago, I was talking with somebody else and something was coming up for them. And then something popped up for me that had not been in my mind or in my field for years. Like, like, okay, here it is. And so here I am clearing it. So yeah, this is the time to move the energies. The energies in the universe are supporting you right now for you to do the work. So if you want to do the work right now, or if you have your own methods that you're using, this is the time to take action into moving it, right? I also have, want to remind you, 2 free meditations in the guides. One is Love and Acceptance, and the other one is Cleansing Rain. And they're both super powerful to get rid of things that you no longer need. So I am feeling really deeply that in Love and Acceptance is something that would really feel like the hug that I talked about when I about an hour ago about this live. The Love and Acceptance is loving yourself first and allowing yourself to be loved by you, right? It all starts with you first, and then you can open up to, if you're looking for a partner, or if you need to work on relationships in your home or your family or whatever that is. Yes, that is also for that, but it starts with you. It starts with the healing of yourself. And then the Cleansing Rain, that is also if you already know that you have stuff in you that you needing to move and you already identified them, this is great for that, because you're like, okay, this is what I want to work on, this is what I want to get rid of, and then you can just release it. They are both meditations are completely free on my guides, and they were both downloaded from the Arcturians, which I have an Arcturian light codes activation on Saturday if you want a little bit more of that energy within you. That's going to be a workshop, like a one-time thing in a Zoom, and it's going to be really powerful because it has it gives you the light codes activations for abundance and love and what's the other one? Compassion. Yeah, and compassion. Those are the 3 big ones, and it just fills your body and it awakens all the dormant DNA that you already have within you, so that you can actually start using these energies, right? So we're all divine beings, and we're all full of information within us that we don't remember we have. And when we start working on ourselves, that's when we start waking up, realizing what we're able to do, realizing that there's something more than just this 3-dimensional reality that we are living in. And we start to wake up, right? And I believe, this is my point of view, that a lot of people call it a wake up or an awakening, because that's literally what's happening within your body. Your cells are waking up, and you are remembering. You're starting to remember. You're starting to realize, oh, I can do this. Oh, wow, like I feel that, and all of those things, right? So that's where, for me, that's what the awakening comes from, or the stuff that a lot of people talk about. And so the Arcturian activation light codes is exactly that. It will activate and wake up the dormant DNA that you have within your body, so that you're able to start using that to the fullest potential that you can. And you'll also get that recording so that you can listen to it over and over, and each time that you listen to it, you awaken more cells, or at a different level. Kind of like the healing, right? When you heal a part of you, you heal it, and then you're at a different level. Like, imagine yourself going up the steps, so you're at this other level, and then the same thing comes up, and then you heal it, but now you're at higher levels. So now it's, number 1, easier to move and heal, and number 2, faster. So it's kind of like that. When you listen to the Arcturian activation codes again, then you've already been awakened. Your DNA and your cells within your body are already open to receiving and to giving. It's a give and take, right? But now when you do it again, it's like it awakens it again. So it's like it's more powerful, it's stronger, it's more abundant, right? So I do it myself. I've done a couple of Arcturian activations on my clients, because I also have a one-on-one session where you can receive that, and also have a healing session at the same time. That's an hour, but that's just one-on-one. So I've done that, and every time I do that with a client, I'm also receiving it. Why? Because as I'm giving them, and as they're being processed through or run through, I'm also receiving them again. So each time I do it, it becomes clearer and stronger and more apparent to me and everything around me. So that's why I give you the recording, so that you can do it as well, and you can continue to grow and expand with each time that you do it. If you want to do that, that will be this Saturday at 1 p.m. I hope to see you guys. It will be really, really beneficial, and it's actually also quite affordable, so that you can receive that. But if you don't want to do that, and you want to have some type of their energy, the Arcturian energy, then you can just get any of the meditations that I have up there, because they were downloaded by the Arcturians energy through them. So it's their energy, it's their words that were downloaded through me, so that I could record those two meditations that are very, very helpful and powerful. So I encourage you to try them out. If you haven't, just get the help that you can where you feel called to do it, and also remember that you're not alone. You are here for a reason. You're a divine being. If something's happening in your life that's making you feel like crying or just rolling out into a ball, you're not alone. Know that you are supported, and that if that's happening for you right now, it's because it is the time for you to be able to face it and move it out. If you don't do that, what happens is that it's just going to continue to come back and continue to feel stronger, and you're going to continue to believe it as a true thing. You're going to believe that you are less than in any way that those energies are making you feel. You're going to believe into that because you're not moving it out, so it just starts to grow, right? And I just wanted to do a very small short tapping exercise to show you to move this energy. So and I've been working on this myself. Some of my clients know this. So you just tap here in your third eye, and you affirm what you want. So for example, and this is the big one, so this is the one I'm going to do with you, but you can use anything that you want, and you just repeat it out loud about 3 times, right? So you can say like, I am worth it, I am worth it, I am worth it. Okay, by the 3rd time, I'm smiling, right? Why? Because the tapping is getting inside is rewiring my, I want to say wires, but there's no wires up there, right? My energy, my belief, and it's changing that belief. If you're in a situation, let's say at work, where somebody's making you feel like you're doing something wrong, and you know that you're better than that, but it's making you feel that's part of your wound, right? That's what we do in Dream Weaving School. We clear all of those things. We figure out what the problems are, and we work through them. But for now, if that's something that's going in through you in your life, you can use this. I am worth it. I am worth it. I am worth it. You can use it for anything, right? I am thin. I am thin. I am thin. I am rich. I am rich. I am rich. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. Very simple. This tapping is like a whole thing, right? There's like a whole thing that you can tap in different parts of your face and your body, right? To each thing like signifies different things, and I am not an expert on it, so I am not going to tell you any more about that. I'm just telling you the tools that I have been taught and that I use myself, that work and that are simple, and that you can remember them, right? So that's the key here, to give you something that you can use right now that actually works. If you have a really deep feeling that you're not worthy, you might be doing this, I'm worthy, and you're going, you see my face? I am worth it, I am worth it. Okay, so it's kind of like you don't feel like, okay, this is like stupid, I don't feel those thoughts might be going through your mind, but just believe and do it. And then you'll see that your mood will start to change. You'll start to smile and feel giddy again. And that's your brain believing you that you are worth it, right? And then the more you do it, then the more you believe it. So if you need to do this like a whole bunch of times or several times through the day or every single day, to make yourself believe that again, which is really remembering who you truly are, then do it, right? It is so easy. You can do it in the car when you're by yourself, driving by yourself. You can do it in the bathroom when there's nobody else. Right? Okay, so just wanted to give you that, let you know that you are supported in every way. If you need any help, reach out. If you feel that you would like some more different type of help from me, also reach out. I hope to see you on Saturday for the Arcturian activation codes. I will put a link on this after I finish this. I didn't think about it because I wasn't thinking about this. I was just thinking about giving you the support because of the energies that I've been feeling. But yeah, that's it. So anyway, I love you. I hope that this was helpful for you. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.